Shit, sorry about that. I didn't unmute it. Oh fucking hell. No, but I wasn't gonna do a live, but then I just thought, well, I might as well. Day before the day of the coronation. I'm not gonna lie. Has anyone found any excitement or had, to me it just seems like no one really wants this shit. It's mad that he's holding it on a Saturday as well, because the royals generally always get married on a weekday, and that is basically to prove that they don't have to work. It's mad he's holding the coronation on a Saturday. I think there's got to be some reasons for that, but I thought I would give you all the reasons why I don't think Charles should be king. And obviously there's Jimmy Savile, and they was best buddies. Like, he used to get write speeches for Prince Charles, yeah, and Prince Charles wrote handwritten notes to him, thanking him for his speeches, and it's just ridiculous. So that's a very bad error of judgment. Then we have Bishop Ball, who had actually been convicted of paedophilia, exactly the same as Epstein. He'd been convicted of paedophilia, and Prince Charles allowed him to stay on one of his cottages, wherever, on one of his estates. And I'd just like to point out as well that that's exactly what Prince Andrew's done. He's done nothing. Like, Prince Andrew has done nothing that Prince Charles has done. Yeah. And it just, and tomorrow he's going to be crowned king. And to be this country's representative on earth, no, because it's not just me who knows this shit. The whole world knows about this. And we like a joke, a big old joke, because the royal family is so outdated. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And the fact that, like, tomorrow it becomes real, it's worrying. It's really, really worrying. Let's look at his family. I mean, let's look at Lord Mountbatten. He had two rent boys on his yacht when the IRA blew him up. Yeah, the newspapers, like, they covered it. They said there was two boys on there, but yeah, there were two rent boys. And also, as well, the CIA, when they do, or is it the FBI? It's one of them two anyway. They do dumps, like if something's been held back for 40 years or whatever, when it comes to when that time's up, they dump a load of, like, stuff, and you've got people going through that with a fine-tooth comb. And it was found that it was either the CIA or the FBI have got Lord Mountbatten's porn, child porn, bestiality porn. He was a proper pervert. Yeah. And I've just watched something on them, yeah, and his wife was called Edith. Yeah, and she liked black men. Yeah, man, she scandalised him. She liked the black men. Like, I watched that on it yesterday, because I've just been watching stuff about the royal family going back, going back to the Plantagenets. And it's mad because I'm not a royalist whatsoever, but it fascinates me. And I still, to this day, do not understand how we're such a small little island, but we controlled most of the world. and still do with the Commonwealth. But the Queen was one thing. She never put a step wrong, and she was Queen when I was born, so I never knew anything other than the Queen. But it's getting a bit ridiculous now. I mean, like, it's becoming real tomorrow. He's actually going to be King Charles, and there is so many reasons why he should not be King Charles. And let's not forget about his charities when he was caught with fucking carrier bags full of cash, like he's some fucking mafia don or something. Like, come on, man. Like, no one has carrier bags full of cash apart from like, drug dealers. Like, you shouldn't have carrier bags full of cash. And over the years, it's so much like he's quite a disgrace to the royal family, actually, I think. With his Prince's Trust and he's all these good thingy. Let's just remember, that Camilla has took Diana's place, basically. And everyone's just been cool with it. It's just that, it's okay. Like, his uncle, his uncle, the one who abdicated because he wanted to be with Wallis Simpson. There was a bit more to it than that, because he was a fucking Nazi as well. Completely betrayed our country, and he had to abdicate because she was a divorcee, an American. Well, the bottom line is this: Camilla is a divorcee, and there's no doubt that she benefited from Diana coming out of the picture. And it's, and everyone was just like cool with it because everyone wanted to see Charles happy. But I don't think anyone imagined Charles to be in the position that he's in now. And he's going to be he represents our country anyway, but like tomorrow it just becomes real. And back in, I was watching the coronation of Queen Elizabeth, and when it was when she'd been on for 25 years, people were having street parties. It was like not really a lot going on about that, is there? Obviously there are a couple of pubs and the churches have put up bunting, but it's. And you know what as well? I looked at the weather forecast, and it's going to rain. It's going to rain, and I thought, oh my God. Well, if that just ain't just the icing on the cake, the rain, And the thing is as well, is like, obviously there is so much on Prince Harry. I know Meghan's not coming. Take of that what you will. I don't blame her. I'm not going to lie. I really don't blame her. But obviously Harry is. Pretty sad. Because it's alright. I'm just going to see because I've got my phone back now. My computer's fixed. And thank you to everyone who donated. That was really that was really cool of you. So oh my God, hang on, I'm gonna have to turn that down. I'm gonna look at my comments now. See. Yeah, that like that. They're all into bread. The whole lot of them, they are. Yeah, well, Prince Andrew gets away with everything, doesn't he? But I do know one thing: he's got to keep his arse in England now, because if he If he goes anywhere, he risks being arrested. I mean, they're not going to arrest him, are they? I mean, come on. He just fucking hell. I've got not bloody hell. There's quite a lot of people in the room. Right, it's really nice to have a lot of people in the room, but I just really wanted to just come on and just say all the reasons why, like, like. I just think he should step aside for William. If we're going to have a king, for me, it might as well be William. Personally, I'd like to see Harry. No, I just think that they all need to step down now. They really do need to step down because they cost us a lot of money. And people say, but they bring in a lot of money. No, because whenever anybody goes to visit Buckingham Palace, they never see the fucking royal family, do they? So, the people will still come. Yeah, the buildings are still the same. They just ain't got the royal family no more. Well, the Palace of Versailles, that's high up on the tourism. Like, people don't go there because the royal family don't live there. Yeah. So, they would still bring in the prestige because no one gets to meet them in tourism. So, saying that, it's... Brian's fine. Brian's fine. I don't know if any of you caught the last live I done. That was 3.5 hours, and I swear to God, I thought it was about 2 hours. But to be quite honest with you, that is how like me and Brian have conversations anyway. So it was just it was just recorded. It was but yeah, that was 3.5 hours that went by so mad, and there's so much information in there. I can't even remember what we talked about. But I did remember that we missed out something, and Brian had been reading about a top badminton player who had been, it was something to do with baby and toddler rape. I can't exactly remember the thing, but yeah, I remember saying to him, "Oh God, we missed out that." But it just goes to show that this baby and toddler rape shit is real. Yeah, don't forget Ian Watkins, the Lost Prophet singer, the one who actually got convicted of child and toddler rape, baby and toddler rape. Yeah, convicted. Not hearsay, not none. And Peaches Geldof, yeah, Paulie Yates's daughter and Bob Geldof's daughter, died literally about a week after she named the mothers who had sold their children to Ian Watkins. Good on ya. But then she ended up dead, so I don't know, but like, I still say, like, I watched that Paula thing, and it do you know what? News of the World are just disgusting, right? They are, because I didn't really know much about them, to be quite honest with you. I knew that they were like obviously dodgy, but since talking to Brian, he's opened my eyes, man. He's opened my eyes to what the media are capable of. Yeah, but the News of the World, man, they went too far. They basically killed Paulie Yates without a doubt. They killed her without a shadow of a doubt. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think she would have overdosed with her child there. Her child was in the house when she OD'd. Yeah, I'm not believing that she OD'd. And I think there was something dodgy about Michael Hutchins' death as well. He was killed, like, literally, he was found hanging in his own, and it was death by doorknob. And I say that's not a joke. That's a thing. That is a signature of someone being there. What could have been so bad that I mean, they hounded her, and then 2 weeks after Michael Hutchins died, the News of the World named Hughie Green as her father. And she had no idea about it at all. She had absolutely no idea. Yeah, and it destroyed her. But when she was found dead, it was like she just kind of revived, whatever they call it, revived her career. Yeah, the fact is, they said that she took drugs where her body wasn't used to drugs, because she'd been clean for like God knows how many years. She just yeah, and so yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty sad. And then when you think about what happened to Peaches as well, like that's just really sad as well. But there wasn't really a lot in the mainstream news about that. It was just like, but I do know that she'd joined the OTO, and she was liking the parenting, their way of parenting. I'm not too sure what their way of parenting is, to be quite honest with you, but I do know the OTO ain't really that good at all. But like a lot of things, like they'll talk a lot of sense to you, yeah, to get you drawn into this, and then next thing you know, you're dead. I mean, I can't see how anyone can be thingy, but I can see if someone's weak-minded, easy manipulated. Those are the sort of people they look for. I mean, to speak quite honestly, they wouldn't try and recruit someone like me or Brian, or it's no, we're too opinionated, we're too headstrong. Yeah, but I do know there's a lot of, like, I wouldn't say weak-minded, because that makes them. No, I have to say weak-minded, because I don't know what else they are if they're going to get involved in things. But I can see how they would try and draw people in with trying to talk sense to them. Because she was definitely against paedophilia, because she named the women, and she actually named them. Yeah. So it's for me, I'm not really buying all the newspapers version of things. And what they did to her, they even sent her own obituary by mistake, they said. But it's. I mean, obviously, I wasn't even aware really of how bad it was for her. And if I did read the papers, I was just as bad. I was reading stories like it. It's but I do remember on the Big Breakfast doing the bed and that. But I wasn't aware of how involved the News of the World were. And it's like these journalists, man. They do anything for a story, even make up shit. It's and I know the News of the World were responsible for setting up a lot of people. I think they even set up Fergie, didn't they? And Talisa. There was loads of others that they kind of got. It sounds mad, but it's I mean, that's what happened. And it's just mad when But yeah, look, this started off as one with the royal family, and here I go off again on a tangent. But I've forgotten what I was even talking about now. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if you's lot caught the last live I done with Brian, that was the 3.5 hour. It weren't me banging on for 3.5 hours. It was a really good conversation. And like I said, that's like a normal conversation for us. So yeah, it was nice to be able to share that with you all. But yeah, I mean, back to the. Do you know what? I can look at me thingy. Yeah, Wedger. He is a criminal. He is a criminal. Yeah, it's but it just makes me like what what rule there is for one. It should can. I mean, they can't just change the rules as willy nilly. Like it's. I mean, for me, to be quite honest with you, I don't really give a shit. But it goes to show that, like, I mean, Edward had to abdicate and leave his and give up the throne. And he thrust his brother, who had a speech impediment, into the limelight. And our queen became queen. She wasn't even meant to be queen. So that was all a bit nuts. But apparently, the Edward VIII, I watched that. He's called the Traitor King, and he was a Nazi sympathiser. And basically, it was like he was going to be if the Nazis won, he was going to be put back in power, and he was going to be a Nazi puppet. And he once said to a German delegation that he didn't have a drop of English blood in him. He was fully German, and he actually was, because they were all Nazis. Yeah, they was all. It's. Yeah, and let's face it, they're not exactly known for their diverse hiring, let's say. It's there's I don't think there's hardly any black people in her personal guard or whatever. It's definitely lacking in diversity, which makes me laugh, because if it was a normal, if they were subject to normal laws, people would be questioning their thing. But oh no, because it's the rules, it's okay. But I think that died with the Queen and Prince Philip. And make no mistake about Prince. That Prince Philip was definitely not. He was the power. He was 100% the power behind the throne. Absolute psychopath, as was Mountbatten as well. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. But Prince Philip, he was. What does he say about the child? He said they've all got slitty eyes anyway. And he said when they was doing the Royal Variety Show, he said, "Oh, what have you all flown over for the show?" He's yeah he famously said in a magazine interview, he would like to, if he was going to be reincarnated, he would like to come back as a thingy virus, a thingy virus on mankind to help with depopulation. He actually said that. He actually said that in an interview. That's no word of a lie. And I don't suppose he even pretended to be anything that he's not. But they held up quite I mean, if the press would have been brave enough, they would have portrayed him, because he did cheat on Elizabeth a lot. But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's definitely the one who everyone was scared of. It's Prince Philip was the one, and then with his death, and then obviously with the Queen's death, I think, like, the royal family, and I think if even the distant royals, they get money, they get paid up, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, it really is. And I think Charles is not the one to save the monarchy, to be quite honest with you, because most young people know about his relationship with Savile. Not so many people know about the Bishop Ball. But it's look into it. It's documented. They can't hide it. It's still, tap in Bishop Ball and Prince Charles, and yeah, you'll see. It's another kind from the Catholic Church. I think he was Catholic. I don't know. He was just a fucking disgusting nonce. And he was, oh my God, he was abusing boys for years and years and years and years. And, they can only, because most of them that come forward, they don't go to trial. They pick a couple of them and that's it. And a lot of them don't see trial. So you never get to really know the amount of children. But, Bishop Ball was doing this for about 20 odd years. I think it was even longer than that. And, the church were warned about him. They were told about him. And then when he got convicted, Prince Charles allowed him to stay on. It was some place on one of his estates to recuperate. That's nothing what Andrew ain't done. He just, obviously Epstein's convicted paedophile, but why would he have thought there was anything wrong when Charles has done it? Yeah, what It's, I think I just think they're all fucked, mate. I really think that they're all fucked. I've got more sympathy for Harry, although it's like, look, they're trading on being royals. There's no two ways about that. And I told you, I've read his book, yeah, and he's very entitled. Harry in the book says when he gets depressed or whatever, he'll go to Botswana. Well, poor Harry, go and drown your sorrows in Botswana. Yeah, most of us don't get to do that, so he has got a bit of area of entitability, but I suppose that comes with who he is, I suppose. But I respect his need for privacy. I just think just leave them alone now. But stop writing book. It's becoming a bit like thingy now. It's you just drop it now. That's what I have to say, because it's getting on people's nerves, and it's not the right time to be doing it. Well, there isn't a right time to do it, really. But it's I don't know. I don't know. But I think he's going to be at the coronation. I haven't seen anything to say that he isn't. But I ain't been watching the news lately at all, really, to be quite honest with you. It's all bullshit. This Ukraine shit's driving me mad as well. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. But, let me have a look at the comments anyway, see. Yeah, they wouldn't even have to sell. They wouldn't even have to sell a duel. All they'd have to do is not take their wages for a year, and they say that that's 33 million. Yeah, well, just just don't let us pay you for a year, and then that's 32 million or 33 million that's going to the NHS, right? What do you think that's going to do for the country? Yeah. But nah, none of them do that. They wouldn't even have to sell a fucking jewel, mate. Yeah. But Brian was saying as well that the other two Prince Charles, Charles the First and Charles the Second, didn't fare too well. To be quite honest with you, I haven't even looked that up actually. Well, at least I ain't had the trolls out tonight, which has been quite liberating. No, but yeah, no, and also as well, thank you to everyone who donated to getting my computer fixed. Thank you so much. It went, because I told people don't give to Just Giving no more because they're thieves. They're actually thieves. But if anyone wants to send me a tip or show me their grade, whatever, never going to turn down that. Just let me know and I'll give you my bank details. But other than that, I'm going to go now because I've been rabbiting on for 30 minutes, 32 minutes actually. So as always, thanks for listening, and I shall see you folks soon.